Om Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punaha Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Remember, it's not a funeral, okay? Gukarastvandhakaro vai Rukarastannivartakaha Andhakara nirodhitvat Gururithyabhidhiyate. Om Sahanavavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Some people have asked me about this prayer, just the one before the Sahanavavatu. And this is what it means. Gukaraha. Gukara means the syllable gu. Gukaraha andhakaro vai. Vai doesn't mean why, okay? Yeah. Vai means indeed. Indeed, the syllable gu means or stands for ignorance. Andhakara here means darkness, but darkness here means ignorance. The syllable gu stands for darkness, ignorance, tamas. What kind of ignorance? Self-ignorance. What other kind is there, really? That matters. Then the syllable ru, rukaraha, tat nivartakaha, tan nivartakaha. The syllable ru means that which removes this ignorance. Because the ignorance is removed, the Guru is called as such. So in the word Guru, there is both the function of the Guru is already there. What the Guru stands for is there. And then the Shastra also comes in. The Shastra is there and what the Guru stands for is there. And the only job of the Guru is Ajnana Nivartakam. As the agent of the remover of Ajnanam, self-ignorance. The word Guru has made it to the English dictionary. Everybody knows, and it is loosely used. Music Guru, dance Guru, stock market Guru, cooking Guru, cleaning Guru. Oh, there is a cleaning Guru? Yeah, her name is Marie Kondo. Yeah. She is the cleaning and reorganizing Guru. All kinds of things she does. Little less popular these days because it was found that there was a slight conflict of interest. She was asking all these people to buy all these organizers and to minimize everything. But what she omitted to say was that those organizers were all her own company. So she was benefiting from people buying all these things. So, cooking whiz, cooking guru, cleaning guru. Then there is also one entity called life guru, life coach, this is called. Life coach means, they don't have anything better to do and they are assuming you don't have anything better to do than to consult them whenever you have a wardrobe malfunction, like the celebrities. In fact, the celebrities are the ones who retain these life gurus. So even though the word guru is used very loosely, shastrically it means the one who removes self-ignorance. That's the only thing. That's the only job of the guru. And in fact, in the Panchadashi, the guru is eulogized as such. The opening verse of the Panchadashi eulogizes the guru as such. Namah Shri Shankarananda Guru Padambu Janmani Savilasa Mahamoha Graha Grasaika Karmane. What a verse! Amazing. Shri Shankarananda, Namaha unto Shri Shankarananda. It could be Shankara who is Ananda, or it could be Lord Shiva, doesn't matter. It could be Adi Shankara or Lord Shiva, doesn't matter. And who is this? The one whose feet, when they are washed, the water from whose feet, basically, whose feet have only one job. And what is the job of the feet? To swallow up the alligator of delusion. And what is the alligator of delusion? The alligator or the shark of delusion is the one that is the shark of self-ignorance. Because of self-ignorance alone, there is delusion, where one is not able to make correct decisions, etc. So, the Guru has an extremely important place, a crucial place in the tradition, especially when making the journey back from the pratibhasika satta, from the so-called subjective reality to living in the objective reality. That is step number 1. And then step number 2, to understanding that this is the whole, that I am the whole. In both these places, the Guru has a role that you cannot eulogize enough. You cannot really even describe it in words. Words fail one. When one thinks of Guru, when one thinks of what there is to gain, and more importantly, if we are talking of self-ignorance, what there is to lose. Such a lot to lose. And that loss is very important. To shed that self-ignorance is very important. Why? And this is exactly what the mantra is talking about. Which mantra? The one that we are studying. Yato vacho nivartante apraapya manasa saha anandam brahmano vidvan na bibheti kutascha neti etagum havavana tapati kimaham sadhuna karavam kimaham papamakaravamiti. We'll see the absolute reasons why this knowledge is not at all available, absolutely unavailable for the mind to grasp as an object, for the speech to describe it as an object. But at the same time, one of the main reasons is because of the fact that it is something to be listened to. It's not really something to catch, kill, conquer. In fact, the verb kill here, especially in modern language, means you got it. That's what it means. One young man came to me and said, he's along with his mother, and the mother said he sat for this very big exam. I said, how did you do? Swaminiji, I killed it. I was a little alarmed. Then he assured me, no, killed means I did very well. Abba, okay, good. But that's what it is. And that tells us, kill means conquered it. I have attacked it, I have conquered it. This doesn't work here. Because of the nature in which the knowledge flows. Because of many paradoxes. The first paradox is that this knowledge is not away from you, it is you. You know that. You know that each time, whenever the mind is free of urgent desires, you're able to relax. You're able to be free. You're able to tell yourself and others, oh, it's okay, take it easy. And another day, the very next moment, somebody needs to tell you, take it easy. So you're able to take it easy. You're able to be accommodative, expansive. You're able to be forgiving. You're able to give the other person the benefit of doubt. Allow the other person to be who they are despite their prejudices. You're able to do that on certain days without any problems at all. You're able to be non-demanding. Even if you're on hold on the phone for a long time. Like, for example, with the airlines earlier this week. Many people told me that they were on hold for an hour and 50 minutes before a human being came on the line. So some days you're able to allow for that. But it doesn't last. And it seems somehow suddenly coming in and as a blessing and then equally elusively going away. There is no staying power. So this knowledge is not away from you. It is who you are. An appreciative, non-demanding, contented being. This is moksha. This is you. Anything else is a lie. It's a lie the society is telling you, or it's a lie that you are telling yourself. And then this is, so therefore, to understand this, one needs help. There is no DIY Vedanta. If you go to the self-help section of the bookshop, and you find a book whose title is DIY Vedanta, do it yourself. Please do not buy that book, okay? Yeah. Donate the money to some temple instead. Don't waste the money, because there is no such thing. It is not a DIY enterprise, and each time anybody thinks, I am going to achieve this and get this all by myself, apne aap, all by myself I'm going to achieve this, all by myself I'm going to get this, one is deluding oneself. You can't. You can't, because that which is there to get, quote unquote, you are already there. You are the owner of that which you want. It's like somebody sitting on a treasure chest. Let's say, there are all these maps to various treasure chests. So there is this fellow sitting on a treasure chest, full of gold, diamonds, everything. Stocks, bonds. That's why it's called bonds, because it causes bondage. Sitting on this treasure chest and still crying, I am the poorest fellow in the whole world. What kind of an advice will you give if you are passing them by? What do they need to do? They need to do alternate nostril breathing. 6 rounds. Or they need to do some yoga on top of the treasure chest. Stand on the head. Or what do they need to do? They need to do some karma yoga. Polish the treasure chest. Or what else do they need to do? They need to go, sit in silence, meditate, do some dhyanam, do some japa, tapa, whatever it is. Yes? No. Why? All this is futile. There is a place for sadhana, there is a place for doing. Sadhana here means practice, but I'm talking about it generally as doing. There is a place for doing. But this is not an area where doing is going to help produce the knowledge that you are the owner. In fact, you are sitting on the treasure chest. In fact, because of your weight, you are causing a dent in it. So, you are sitting on the treasure chest. How do you produce that knowledge? But knowledge is already there, it's not a product. Knowledge and karma are like oil and water, they don't mix even in a salad dressing, okay? You see the little drops of oil and water separate. Even when you shake it. So, there is a problem. And exactly one is sitting on the treasure chest of the self that is all glorious, non-demanding, appreciative, contented, expansive, accommodative, loving, compassionate. What one wants to be, one already is. And so, no amount of doing is going to give you this knowledge. Although there is some kind of a satisfaction in doing because one is attached, you can say, or identified, you can say, with one's doership. So one feels in charge, in control. Yes, you are in control. You have free will. You are in charge of what? Of things that can be done, of knowledge that can be produced using the means of knowledge that you have. You have the immediate means of knowledge, pratyaksha, which include the 5 sense organs. Then there are some indirect means of knowledge that we enjoy and deploy, such as inference, one-step inference, anumana, and then more than one-step inference, arthapatti, etc. Then we have another way of knowing, which is comparison. The durian, what is durian? Fruit, yeah, very good. Fruit from Southeast Asia. The durian is just like jackfruit, we can say, but much smellier. That's why it's called durian. Actually, it should be durian, means keep distance from it. So, those people who have had some connection to India have understood what jackfruit is, have sampled jackfruit, have tasted that, then they have a concept of what durian is. And if they go to Singapore or Thailand or somewhere and they see that, then they will understand, oh, this is not jackfruit, looks like jackfruit, but actually it is durian. This is called upama, not what you have for breakfast, that is upma. But this is upama, comparison. Then we have anupalabdhi, the cognition of absence, not of absence absolute, because there is no such thing called absence absolute. The concept of shunya, which is called absence absolute, is immediately negated by your own presence, by the presence of the cognizer of the shunya. The shunya itself is negated. It's so much fun. As soon as I say everything, the truth of everything is zero, who is saying it? Me, the hero. Can you deny your own presence? Why is it taking so long to answer? People are trying, okay, let me see. I don't exist. I don't exist. You're deluding yourself. Your own existence is allowing you to say, I don't exist. It's an existence that is not even contradicting your mischief-making mind, which is trying to deny your own existence. Just amazing. So these are what are called pancha pramanani, and these pramanas, means of knowing, ways of knowing, out of these, which one will you choose to know the I? Obviously none of them. None of them will work. Can I see the Atma? Okay, let me give you a tip. Anything I ask, the answer is no, okay? Yeah. Can I see the Atma? No. Can I hear the Atma? No. And then can I touch the Atma? Can I pick up the fragrance of the Atma? No. Can I infer that the Atma exists? One step or two steps? No. Why? Because we are talking of the nature of the inferer. We are not talking of an object of inference. We are talking of the swabhava, the swarupa of the inferer. Okay, let's use comparison. Atma is like ... No. It's not like anything. Why? Why is the Atma not like anything? Here the answer is not no. Okay, yeah. Why is the Atma not like anything? Because there is only one of it. Single, ekam and advitiyam. One and non-dual. Non-dually one. And the word non-dual here is very important because it is not subject to fragmentation. One means you can have half and you can have infinite number of fractions. No fractions, no fragments. One and only one Atma. Only one Atma. What are you going to compare it to? In fact, the Vedantic poets also have this problem. They compare it sometimes to the sun because it is all effulgent, it reveals everything including itself. Or they compare it to space. But that's about it. You can't really compare it to anything because there is nothing other than itself. And cognition of absence has already been negated. Because when we talk of cognition of absence, it's not absolute absence, it's the relative absence of a particular object in a particular place. This is how anupalabdhi pramana works. A particular object is absent at a particular place. That's it. This is what is anupalabdhi. Now that also doesn't work because the Atma is very much present, all pervasive, ever present, never absent. So then what do? You go home, that's all, because there is no way of knowing the Atma. That's why the Shastra is seen, the teachings, the Upanishads, the Bhagavad Gita, all the sacred texts in the tradition are seen as a pair of eyes that help us to see, to understand what is being taught. Because all the pramanas, all the means of knowledge that we operate are of zero use. Zero use. That's why the mind is frustrated, comes back. Yato vacho nivartante, it has come back. Speech has come back. It thought it will make a speech, but it was speechless. When it stood on the dais, it was speechless. Speech was speechless, mind was mindless, because of which the mind is the mind, because of which the speech is speech, because of which speech can articulate. That is what we are talking about, that I, which supports the speech without ever saying a word, which supports the mind without being either the thinker or the object of thought or the process of thinking. There is no way to know this. No way to know this at all other than approaching the Shastra. Oh goody, I can buy the Upanishads. Books are there. Translations are there. I can sit at home, buy the Upanishads, read the Upanishads, and then the countdown to enlightenment has begun. 10, meaning there are 10 Upanishads, okay? The main ones for which Adi Shankara has given commentary. 10, 9, okay, 1 Upanishad down, 8, 2 Upanishads down, and then finally, then when I come to Chandogya Upanishad, because there is a kind of a list of these Upanishads in the verse form for remembering. When I come finally to the last Upanishad on the list, I'm all enlightened, thank you very much, wonderful. Now time to pass on the books to the next generation. No, doesn't work. The translations may be very faithful, but somehow the mind is a goalkeeper. Goalkeeper, what is the job of the goalkeeper? Like in a hockey match or something, what do? They don't let the other team put the ball in the goal. Obstruction. They obstruct. They stop. Here the mind is a little befuddled and then is stopping its own self from winning by guarding the goal, by guarding its own goal and self-sabotaging itself. Mind means self-sabotage. No other function it has. It constantly comes in the way. It constantly undermines itself. It constantly berates itself. And it will do everything possible to not gain this knowledge. The question is why? Why is it acting against its own interests? The answer to that is very simple. Because it is afraid. What is it afraid of? Letting go of control. That's what it is afraid of. But I thought you wanted to lose the smallness. Yeah, says the mind. I hate this finitude. Let me out. I want to be free. I want to be all pervasive. I like what the Upanishad is saying. I want this. And yet, why are you guarding everything and obstructing everything? Because I am afraid that in the process of quote-unquote becoming big, huge, all-pervasive, I will lose my smallness. Hello, isn't that the idea, to lose your smallness? No, but I am attached to that smallness. I like all the small things in life. Small happinesses. Movie Ananda, Move Ananda, and Cake Ananda. And then what else, Just a little walk in nature Ananda. Have coffee with a friend Ananda. And watch a TV show Ananda. And not any kind of show. These days, reality shows are all the rage. Why? Because I'm so sick of my life, I want to watch somebody else's life. That's all it is. My life is unreal. That's why I want to watch somebody else's life. So TV show, Ananda, all these Anandas, what will happen? Will I have to give them up? No. The Upanishad herself says in the beginning of the Taittiriya Upanishad, Brahmana saha vipashtita sarvan kaman samashnute. The person who understands this teaching, who understands this knowledge, enjoys everything. Everything means including that small things that you like. And the big things, and everything in between is enjoyed wholly and completely. Brahmana saha, it doesn't mean along with Brahman, in the form of Brahman. Being Brahman, which is limitless, which is all-pervasive, I enjoy everything. Because I am everything. But the mind and the speech are in disbelief. No, it cannot be like that. What do I have to give up? It's like that. A king of a small, tiny kingdom in middle India. There is one place called Raipur in Madhya Pradesh. The king of Raipur was woken up from his sleep one day and told, guess what? You are the king of the whole country. Yay! Get up quickly, get dressed. Come to the court. We have organized a huge celebration. Jubilee, everything. We've organized a new coronation now that you're going to be in the king of the whole country. What? Really? But even as the king got dressed and came to the hall, he had one doubt. And he wanted to confer with his ministers. He said, no, the jubilation cannot proceed until I have conferred with the ministers. Really? What do you want to ask? The ministers were a little puzzled. Will I still be the king of Raipur after this ceremony? This is exactly where the mind is. It's being offered an entire treasure chest and it still doesn't know its own worth, its own truth. Mired in this delusion of being identified with that smallness. This is why reading the Upanishad is a waste of time. Studying it on your own is a waste of time. And Adi Shankara minces no words when he says in the Bhashya, Shastrajñopi Brahmanveshanam Svatantriyena na kuryat. Even though you may be a scholar, like a Sanskrit Pandit, you know what it says, you know what it says, everything. You can rattle off the rules of grammar. Even then you are not qualified to analyze and study the Upanishad on your own. Svatantriyena, by yourself. Brahmanveshanam, an inquiry into Brahman. Na kurya. May one never attempt. Why did he say that? Was it so that he was wanting to assure that all the Vedanta teachers that came after him would be employed? No. This was not some kind of a exercise in self-preservation and the preservation of the lineage. The lineage doesn't need to be preserved. It will go on. Because even amongst thousands and thousands of people, if one people seeks the knowledge and one person seeks the teacher, then the lineage continues. The lineage, it does not self-destruct. It is there. So he did not have any kind of an interest in preserving the lineage or preserving that there would be some job quotas for all the Vedanta teachers starting with him and others who came after him. He was merely unfolding a fact, a truth. That when one reads the Upanishads or when one studies the Gita or the Upanishads by oneself, one's own infrastructure and all the deficits therein comes in the way. That's what comes in the way. So even if you encounter a Mahavakya, Sa Atma Tattvamasi Shvetaketo, you understand, oh that Atma you are, oh Shvetu. Short for that was his pet name. Very few people know that. Oh Shvetu, this Atma is what you are. This Atma, which Atma? Sat eva, that which is existent. And idam agre asit, before this manifest world came into being, it was already there. That is you. You who have witnessed this world coming into being. That's Sat. And what kind of Sat? All knowledge Sat. That Sat equipped with the knowing to create. That's what who you are. That Sat is this I, is this you, O Shvetaketu Tattvamasi. When you read it, you say, one can say one of two things. One is, yeah, next. Because the catch-kill mentality is inbuilt into the mind, the speech. Very difficult to overcome. Very, very difficult to overcome. So that is one reaction. Yeah, okay, next. You gloss over it. Or you go down the road of the spiral of self-pity. Yeah, some other people can be Tat. I am not Tat. I can never be Tat. I had a terrible childhood. Nobody loves me. And whatever I try in my life is subject to failure. So how can I say that I am Sat? Even that, the process itself, the pursuit itself is subject to failing, because everything that I have tried, I have failed. Vedanta is no exception. So I will use this book for what? For something, as a prop. Maybe I have a table that's a little wobbly, so I'll just put that underneath. These are the two reactions. Or maybe in this continuum, some version of this. This is how it is. This is the power of the mind that is wedded to that smallness. Wedded to the ahankara, the mind is, and there is a codependent relationship between the I notion and the mind. The mind looks up to the I notion, to the ahankara to guide it, and the ahankara depends upon the mind to do its job. What is its job? of masquerading as someone very important, very secure. Why? Because there is an insecurity centered on the self. That's why. So this whole assemblage, the mind, the emotions, the buddhi and the ahankara. Buddhi means the faculty of the intellect faculty. Intellectual faculty, the buddhi, the ahankara, the I notion, the mind, the one that vacillates, chittam, the emotions. They are all in cahoots with one another and they have built up this reality. Which reality? The absolute reality? No. The empirical reality? No. The subjective reality. They have constructed the subjective reality brick by brick by brick. Mind makes the brick, the speech puts in the concrete in between the bricks. The emotions water it. Because after you do the construction, it has to be cured with water. And then pretty soon, there is a wall around the heart. That is what the subjective reality, constructed so painstakingly, does. There is a brick wall, a stone wall around the heart. Nothing goes in. It's a self-built enterprise to keep disappointments at bay, to keep any kind of dejection at bay, to keep disenchantment at bay. But how can they be kept at bay? By shoring in all kinds of small accolades, trophies from childhood. And by continuing to accumulate. Everybody is a hoarder, not just the people who come on the TV show. Hoarders Anonymous, no. Everybody is a hoarder. No, my house is very clean. My house is clutter-free. Clutter-free may be the house, but in the head is a lot of investment made to accumulating accolades, name, fame. One has to Google oneself every so often to make sure that there are some such things that show up. One has to, that's why the social media, it's not just because of loneliness. It's because I have to show off something that I have. I want a few people to validate that. It's not for loneliness, it's for seeking validation. Why? Because I don't feel valid. For seeking validation, I have all these things lined up. Lined up. There is Twitter, Facebook, this and some gram. Instagram, yes. Instagram is for instant gratification. All these are for instant gratification. And it doesn't feel like a waste of time because you're getting something out of that constant engagement. Let's see how many people liked my post. And there will always be a few generous people who will just press the like button. Even out of habit, or because they know if they like a few posts, then their post will also be liked. It's like, I scratch your post and you scratch my post philosophy. That's all it is. There's nothing else. And then suddenly one is very happy, I went viral. Don't say that in times of pandemic. It gives a different meaning. My post, I went viral means what? By now you have identified with the post. My post went viral. Went viral means spread faster than the B7 variant of the coronavirus. That's what it means. B7 is very, very contagious. They say You just look at the person and then you get it. Have to be careful. And so, this is, so when it goes viral, that means like it has been shared thousands, millions of times. And then you become a celebrity. Oh, the satisfaction, oh, everybody knows me. For how long? 24 hours. You bask in the light of the viral post, and then after that, some other post becomes the next hit. Then it goes, because the public memory is so short, very, very short. Especially these days, with the inundation of all the media coming down on you, raining on you. There is no time to remember anything. Even if you have made a big discovery, some other discovery is lurking on the side, another discovery that can displace yours very, very quickly. And then you go to the realm of the forgotten ones. And the scramble to be remembered, the scramble to leave a legacy, the scramble to matter, the scramble to accumulate a few more accolades starts all over again. If this is not samsara, I do not know what else is samsara, really. And so, to penetrate this kind of a mindset by reading or studying the Upanishads on one's own is very, very, very difficult. Extremely difficult. If not impossible. Actually, it is impossible. That's because there is a fundamental difference between the first 5 means of knowledge that we talked about briefly, and then the 6th means of knowledge, which is the Shastra itself. What is the fundamental difference? The difference is that the first 5 means of knowledge, namely Pratyaksha, those the sense organs, which I come to know through the sense organs, and then 2 types of inferences, one-step and multi-step, comparison, and then what else is there? The cognition of absence. All of them are deployed, operated by the I, by oneself. By the I means by the ahankara, in cahoots with the mind, the speech and the sense organs. There is a little synergy going, there is already a little concert. The 6th means of knowledge, which is the teaching, which is the words of the Shastra, does not belong to this category at all. Why? Because whereas the first 5 means of knowledge you operate, the 6th one is operated by the Guru. The Guru does the operation. And what should you do? Be anesthetized. That's what it is. That's all it is. You have to submit to the operation. That is what is called surrender. It's not understood properly. It's not that you're surrendering to a person called the Guru. You're not surrendering to a person. You're not surrendering to a book. You're surrendering to a way of knowing, to which you have no other access except through this established mechanism, Guru, Shastra, Pramana. That is the pathway. A drowning person does not have any choices. So if somebody offers a rope, and even if the rope is in the form of a bunch of straw, which doesn't look very sturdy, still you will grab at it because you have no option. Here too, The recognition that I am like this drowning person without any other option, it becomes extremely important, a prerequisite for the easy gaining of this knowledge. As long as you think there are options, there are other ways of knowing, there is something else I can do. I can stand on my head on the treasure chest. I can do pranayama on the treasure chest. I can dance on the treasure chest. As long as you think there are options, then this will be one more pursuit in a heavy schedule that one already has, leading people to say, I don't have time for Vedanta. Vedanta is not a pursuit that is on a par with everything else that you do. Whatever you do, Vyavaharika, Vedanta Paramarthika. Whatever you do comes in the realm of transaction, give, take. Vedanta is not that. Vedanta means it is about me. It's different. As long as one doesn't recognize the difference, the various options shine, proliferating the pratibhasika satta, proliferating the world of subjectivity. You add more and more pursuits, thinking that you will be free. You add more and more things to do, places to go, people to see, businesses to transact, etc., etc. You can keep doing that. But a fundamental shift in the vision has to happen to understand that this is the only way. The only way of losing self-ignorance is to, through this pramana called Shastra Pramana, which is activated through the Guru, which is received through the Guru, which is transmitted through the Guru. The Shastra itself is not enough. It has to be activated in a dynamic form and made relevant for your life, for the times that in which you live. Then only it's a means of knowledge. Otherwise it's just information, Shabda Rashi, a bunch of words. Words, words, words. The words, for the words to make an impact, the pramana has to be operated by the teacher. Therefore, the centrality of the teacher in losing this reality or this satta called subjective reality, pratibhasika satta. Otherwise, one is just going round and round in some kind of machinations of one's own doing. Like even the pig. It's not a pig, it's actually a mouse, but it's called a pig. Some kind of pig. Guinea pig. Guinea pig people keep and they give it a little wheel. And then it keeps going round and round. And it's easy to look at that and say, ha ha, it doesn't know that it's not going anywhere. The guinea pig is meanwhile looking at you and your daily life. And the guinea pig is telling itself, these people are, or its friend in the cage, these people are crazy, look at them, they do the same things all the time and expect a different outcome. That is madness, doing the same things and expecting a different outcome. If that's not the definition of madness, I don't know what else is. This itself is sheer madness. And therefore, that is what I can bring, one can tell oneself. This is what I can bring to the table as a disciple, as a student of this knowledge. And what is it that I can bring? An openness to receiving this knowledge. And the understanding that I cannot do it on my own. I have already tried every which way and I cannot do it on my own. Take your time to come to this place. Don't come in a rush, because again you'll want to go back then. Because there is this FOMO. What is FOMO? Fear of missing out. Oh, what did I miss? People tell me this all the time. You said come to Vedanta and here I am. Before I had some small happinesses, movies, friends. Now I find I don't derive that much joy in all those pursuits. And I'm not that interested in Vedanta also. I'm right in the middle. Ubhaya Bhrashta, this is called. Neither here nor there. Hang in there. Even sage Trishanku found deliverance. In the beginning it's a little difficult. Because of the tivrata, the sincerity and the force of the desire to study, the desire to learn, the desire to know, all the old habits are falling down. This is not the time to turn back. This is the time to hang in there. The discomfort is because it is unfamiliar. Unfamiliarity with a new way of being, a new way of knowing, always causes a little discomfort. Like when you move to a new town, you are uncomfortable till you find out where everything is. If you change the house, you are uncomfortable for a bit. This is exactly like that. You are finally returning home. Om is home. That's what it is. You're finally returning, giving up the penchant for reproducing nonsense, really. I don't know what else to call it. Giving up the penchant for reproducing insecurity, thinking that you're becoming secure. Giving up that completely. You're finally returning home to that I, which is the cause of the universe. Naturally, there'll be a little discomfort, there may be a little hesitancy, there may be a little fear. But when we understand this is the only way, one is able to relax in the knowledge, relax in the presence of the teacher, who has now become a surgeon. Surgeon, Vedanta surgeon. The one who operates and removes the tumor of self-ignorance, insecurity, fear, sorrow. A tumor that is slowly killing one without even knowing it. That tumor is excised. But first there is anesthesia. What is the anesthesia? The jokes that we tell. That is the anesthesia. People relax. People laugh. The excising of the tumor takes place. Freed of the tumor, there is no more samsara. The pain of samsara is gone. That's why the Guru Stotram talks about this as an operation. But a different kind of an operation, not a tumor. Here there is cataract surgery. Ajnana-timirandhasya jnana-anjana-shalakaya chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. My salutations unto that teacher, unto that Guru. And who is this Guru? Shriya Yuktaha, the one that is full of abundance, abundance of being, bigness of thinking, the one who abides in that bigness. Unto that Shri Guru, my surrender, my salutations. And who is this Guru? The one who has removed the cataract, the one who removes the cataracts of self-ignorance. Through the scalpel of knowledge, the cataracts of self-ignorance are removed, through which I have an undistorted vision of my own reality as glorious, all-pervasive, ever-present, never absent, limitless, and free of guilt, hurt, sorrow, and fear. Unto that Guru, Namaha. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.